Recorded. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Super Retro Brothers Gaming Channel. I'm Zecoa Diesel, and as always, I'm here with my co-host
Bonnie is known as OTBot7. Hey, folks, welcome to the campaign trail.
Yes. Pretty much. I don't know if you want to give a quick disclaimer or anything I don't know if you want to give a quick disclaimer, but just in case, pretty much we should mention that this is not our first time recording a new campaign trail and everything. We actually did one pretty much a while back and everything, and that version, don't worry,
It's still coming out. It's gonna come out soon.
Yes, it will come out pretty soon and everything. But pretty much Barney has decided that for the pretty much let me try it again. Pretty much Barney has decided that for this new campaign trail and everything, he wants to start off with a different type of trail
Election.
and everything. Pretty much
Election.
pretty much a different type of election and everything to basically show off what this new campaign trail is all about and everything. So for those that have never heard of the new campaign trail and everything, basically to give it
I'll explain.
Actually, yeah, go right ahead. Pretty much you go right ahead and explain to them, Bonnie.
All right, so basically, in a nutshell, you basically take the role of the candidate in the election. I'll give you an example. So you take the role of Abraham Lincoln, and you basically are the president, and you have to make decisions that can either hurt your campaign or help your campaign. That's the nutshell version.
Yes, or pretty much if you want to create a alternate timeline and everything, and pretty much if you want to see if you can actually beat Lincoln as George, as basically a George and everything right over here and such.
George McClellan's not playable in this mod yet.
Ah, man. All right. Well, pretty much. Okay. Well, pretty much all right. So there's some. Pretty much I was gonna say there are some campaign trails and everything where pretty much as we just heard, there are some campaign trails where you can't play as the opposition party. But there are other campaign trails where pretty much you could actually play as the opposite party if you wanted to and such, and pretty much create your own alternate timeline. What would have happened if pretty much you were the one that won the presidency, outside of the person that actually did win in real life and such.
Yeah, I don't think McClellan is playable because the Democrats were very split this year, so they have no chance of winning. So that's why I feel he's not playable.
Alrighty. Yeah, that makes sense and such. So pretty much So pretty much even though we can't create our own alternate timeline by playing as George McClellan and such. McClellan. Yes. Pretty much we are going to create a different alternate timeline by pretty much creating this scenario on what would have happened if pretty much Abraham Lincoln did not choose Andrew Johnson to be his vice president and such during his re-election in 1864. So pretty much in this version and everything, I'm gonna be playing as Abraham Lincoln and such. And I'm still gonna keep Andrew Johnson as my running mate, and then later on when Barney plays to the same campaign trail and everything, he's going to be playing as Abraham Lincoln, but this time, we're going to see what would happen if Lincoln had decided to keep his vice president that was with Abraham Lincoln throughout his first election and such.
Hannibal Hamlin
and such.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and start. All right, so I'll read what we have in store, right? Click here to begin.
Okay.
At the onset of 1864, the war to preserve the Union rages on. Yeah, by this point, the Civil War had been going for 4 years. So, Abraham Lincoln's controversial approach to fighting the secessionist South has resulted in a few major victories. But despite his command, remains in question. The Democrats rally around two figures: New York Governor Horatio Seymour, who later would become the Democratic nominee in 1868, funnily enough, who saw the state through the massive riots that ensued after passing Lincoln's draft, and George B. McClellan, the former commander of Union forces, piece of shit, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much for anyone that oversimplified fans and the comments and everything, or at least out here and such, pretty much you'll know that George was definitely not the brightest soldier in the bunch.
To me, he was a coward, but I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah.
Many Republicans have become worried as well, viewing Lincoln as Let's see,
Facility.
vacillating.
Yeah,
Vacillating, a
vacillating.
passive leader in the war. Yeah. So not only do we have the Democrats to worry about, but the radical Republicans are something we have to worry about because they might split off and form their own party. So,
yeah,
all right,
which
so
which gee, like, you know, pretty much I hope that never happens in the near future.
all right, scroll down a little bit. Scroll down
right.
so I can see a little more. There we go.
Okay.
All right, so continue.
All right, so hit continue.
And yeah, we're gonna play as Abraham Lincoln.
Okay,
so you can see.
Okay, yeah, you are right. All right. All right, so yeah, so pretty much in this one, you can only play as Abraham Lincoln. You can't do George, at least not of yet and such.
Yeah. So we're gonna play as my favorite president, and here we go. This is
so
let's take a look at the running mates for a second.
Okay, all right, we'll take a look at the other running mates. So, all right, so there's Andrew Johnson and such. Pretty much like yeah, this is the running mate that pretty much did actually win in real life and everything with Abraham Lincoln and such. We have Hannibal Hamlet, which pretty much we'll take a look. We'll take a look over for him once we get to Barney and such. So we'll at least skip him for now. But these were the other choices that Lincoln had. We had Daniel Dixon. Pretty much the sage of
former senator and war Democrat from New York, currently serving as the state's attorney general. Basically it's like a more difficult route for Johnson. Basically, if Lincoln decides to get him, there's a problem because this guy was very anti William Seward, and William Seward is Lincoln's Secretary of State and one of his rivals for the Republican nomination in 1860. So Seward might see him as a threat. So yeah, he's like a more difficult version of Andrew Johnson.
And next we have I'm not even gonna
Schuyler Colfax. He will later become vice president under Grant. Actually,
okay.
He's the Speaker of the House at the moment in this election. He's a radical Republican. And
hey, look at that! He's from Indiana. Woo!
Yeah, from your home state.
Yep. And finally, we have Benjamin Butler. Oh, hey, look, it's Snappy Turtle McGee.
Yeah. He's like, all right. We talked about this in private before, but Benjamin Butler is a very interesting candidate.
And actually, okay, yeah. So pretty much, as it says right here, he patented the technique of declaring fugitive slave as contraband. Oh boy.
Then he took over New Orleans, and his general order number, I think it was number 28, where he basically became like a dictator in New Orleans, and he basically ruled like a fucking dictator. Basically, demanded everybody did as he did, blah 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 blah, you know.
And yeah, as it says right here, originally a Southern sympathizer, supporter of Jefferson Davis. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, let's go ahead and go with Andrew Johnson.
All right. So yeah. All right. So pretty much like we said. We're gonna go ahead, play as Andrew Johnson, and see if pretty much we can still win as Abraham Lincoln. Pretty much if I was Abraham Lincoln, pretty much would I have still won the 1864 election and everything with everything that's going on as of right now. So let's do this.
Let's go ahead and do it. Normal, we'll keep it normal.
All right. Okay.
All right, let's see. It is November 1863. All right, this is Gettysburg. So for 3 summers, a civil war has engulfed the country, and almost 500,000 souls have been lost. You have been invited to speak at the memorial on the site of one of the Union's precious few major victories at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. What kind of speech will you get? So remember, this is the Gettysburg Address.
Okay, so let's see here. I'm going to seize the opportunity to remind the United States why they voted for me in the first place. I will give my speech in no less than 50 sentences. Covering the history of our great nation, the value of our cause, my humbly to waste attacks, and end the confrontation, calling for heaven. Okay. This is an ode to the dead. It should be brief, concise, and true. Alright, honestly, okay, so, alright, so if this is the Gettysburg Address, I kind of want to feel like the second one seems like the better choice, to be honest.
And the last one is my speech will be
the speech will honor of the justice of our cause. We stand a crossroad of history, and we should act as though we are aware of that.
I think the second one will be better, honestly.
Yeah, all right, yeah. Okay, yeah, let's try the second one then, and continue.
All right. True to form, you speak for all 5 minutes and deliver a speech destined for the history books.
All right, there we go.
The crowd loved it, especially withstanding Edward Everett's preceding 2-hour oration. Yeah. Now, Edward Everett was the guy that spoke before him. He was the one that gave the standing beneath this serene sky. That 2-hour speech, pretty much.
All right. So pretty much, we're off to a very great start.
Okay. The war still rages on. All right, so The winter has affected your troops. Your commanding general Henry Halleck has made a plan to cease campaigning in Virginia for a few months to build a defensive fortifications throughout the region and hopefully win an offensive campaign against Robert E. Lee. Your Secretary of War, Edwin M. Stanton, another Democrat that became a Republican, by the way,
okay,
has asked you to reprimand Halleck, citing this as one of the many examples of Halleck's readiness, whatever the hell you pronounce that word, to actually fight the war. All right, so I gotta mention this. Lincoln was somebody that didn't want to be cautious. He was like, go.
Yeah.
Like he was pushing his generals, and I think that hurt them a bunch of times. So.
Oh yes, that's true. All right, so let's see here. So where's time to be cautious? We are barely keeping the North together, and Lee has run rampant for too long. Halleck must find a field to move on Lee post haste. Okay. Let's see. Halleck is too cautious, but perhaps he is right. We should have Stanton explain the quiet in some national papers and throw our weight behind Halleck's thinking. Halleck's no McClellan. We should be cautious, not to reprehend him too strongly. We must show we are still confident in the war effort, but he could use an extra push. Okay.
I think 3 actually, because he's not being like go. He's being like, okay, I understand his reasoning, but let's push him just a slight bit.
All right, we'll try 3 then. Thankful for your support. He has agreed to a steady maneuver. While Gordon's maintains a new position, the press does not look kindly on the okay. All right.
Fuck the press.
All right. Well, actually, before we continue, then yeah, let's take a look at one of these features. So pretty much, if you're not too sure if like
you're doing well or you're doing bad, click on latest polls.
If you're doing good or doing bad, click on the poll right here, and pretty much this tells you like pretty much like how you're doing on like the states, and these are the states that were available during 1864 so far.
Yeah, the ones that are like transparent, those are the states that
pretty much those are the states that broke away from the Union and such, the Confederates. So pretty much these states don't matter to us. So as you can see right here, all right. So pretty
West
much
Virginia.
like all right, at least in terms of like West Virginia and everything, pretty much like yeah. So for states like West Virginia, let's see, I believe this Iowa, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and everything like. Pretty much these states right here and everything, like, pretty much, like, they're in the, like, a very supportive, like, Lincoln. While in other states, especially in, like, in Kentucky, it's not looking too good so far. Don't expect to win
Kentucky, because I played this mod before with other running mates, and Kentucky is impossible to win as Lincoln, so just ignore Kentucky overall.
And so pretty much we also got Ohio as well, too. We got some, like, Indiana and everything, so... Okay, I don't think that Indiana might have a shot as well.
Yeah, nothing's gonna change. In my opinion, nothing's gonna change until Sherman takes Atlanta. You know, the March to the Sea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nothing's gonna change until we get to the March to the Sea, which is gonna take place much later.
Alrighty.
All right, so the New York Tribune, Horace Greeley, we all know who this is.
Yes.
The guy that died after the
pretty much, the guy that literally died pretty much right as like pretty much right as the Electoral College was like happening and such.
Yeah, Radical Republican's paper holds great sway over the national discourse. While initially greatly supportive of your wartime agenda, the length and severity of the war is taking a real toll. He has been openly and vigorously rebuking you and your administration for perceived indecisiveness and weakness over the past months. Do you have any plans to fight back against Greeley's machine? Honestly, I would just ignore him because he's just being a fucking idiot. So,
all right,
I would just ignore him.
Okay,
this may be the more proven option of
the opinion overall. We can only hope Greeley will come around as the success of the war effort. All right. So far, it sounds like pretty much we made the right choice right there.
Yeah. News from Tennessee: after the disaster in Chickamauga, Confederate General Braxton Bragg was finally defeated. Ulysses S. Grant, commander of your forces in the West, has moved to the Appalachians, resulting in massive victories in Chattanooga and Knoxville. Tennessee has been recaptured. Will you attempt to reinstate statehood? Okay, let's take a look.
Yes, and under a few conditions, a soft reconstruction will show a desire for a meaningful return. It will take care of protective meanness. Yes, but under military law and conditions that a populace must take an oath of loyalty in order to regain citizen privileges. We need to set an example here. Okay, and pretty much we also have a great deal of work to do to make Tennessee ours again. we need to show them a firm hand as an example to the other treacherous states. All right, for me, I kind of feel like number 3 might be the best option, but what do you think?
No, we have to basically put it under military law because
Right.
remember, we can't do a soft reconstruction because there are other border states that are still in rebellion. The border state, the border states,
Yeah.
we can't do that. We can't do a soft reconstruction. But I also don't want to alienate those people that are in Tennessee and say no because
Yeah, that's true.
we have Andrew Johnson on the ticket. He's from Tennessee, so.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, that is true. That is very true. Yes. All
So
right,
yeah, we'll go with number
option.
2.
So here we go. Tennessees are delighted and will surely carry the state for you this year. Okay. Radical Republicans are encouraged by your firm hand on this matter, while Democrats decry your loyalty. There's an act of tyranny.
Yeah, they're the bad guy. Let's take a look at the polls.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the polls.
And Tennessee is
pretty much as we see. There you go, 100%. So McClellan, get the fuck out of here. And as we take a look, looks like that Illinois and Wisconsin are slowly in favor for Lincoln as well.
Illinois is his home state, obviously. So
yeah. Pretty much Indiana is still trying to look for a slight push in Lincoln as well, so we're definitely going to keep an eye on that one and everything.
California is for McClellan as well, I just noticed.
Actually, yeah, but only pretty much up by about 3%, while
3 points,
Oregon and everything, look at that, pretty much McClellan and Lincoln are actually tied and such, so pretty much it could go either way, while in Nevada, pretty much Lincoln is destroying McClellan so far.
Yeah, and also in Iowa and Kansas as well.
Yes, that is true. Yes, there's Kansas right there, and even Louisiana. And actually, Louisiana is 100% for Lincoln and such.
Yeah, this is good news. All right, let's go back to the game. All right. On the eve of 1864, the Ohio Republican James Ashley has submitted a proposal to end slavery throughout the country, including the slave states that remain in the Union. Will you use your office to endorse this proposal? Okay, let me take a look.
So pretty much, let's see here. Clearly, we support the amendment, but we should keep quiet in public. Okay, I'm not sure how I feel about that one.
We can make sure to make some moves behind the scenes to make sure it gets passed.
To make sure it gets passed without making monitors or border states nervous. Okay.
You got to remember that you can't go hard on abolition because the border states are basically on edge. Basically, if you go too hard,
true, and pretty much that was kind of one of the reasons why Southerners kind of broke away as soon as Lincoln won the first election and such.
Yeah, so I will definitely keep number 1.
Okay, let's see here. So all right, so let's take a look at the other two. So it says, of course, that this was always the goal of the after the
Emancipation
Proclamation, which in some ways is true and such.
The Emancipation Proclamation was actually like an executive order in some way, a military order. So it's not like a law. It's just a military order. So.
Mm-hmm. And okay, so pretty much the two where it says of course and everything, that seems like the bad one. So pretty much this is the same thing as the kind of the same thing as the first one, but they just added a little bit something. Basically saying we are barely keeping peace with the border states as it is, and coming out steadfastly in favor of such measures could mean another year of Missouri burning.
All right, so either the first one or the fourth one will be okay.
Let's try the fourth one, see what happens.
Let's see what happens. Yeah.
Your silence on the issue is questioned by Radical. And though decision may be better part of Finland, many voters think you haven't made up your mind on the issue. Okay.
It's okay. It's basically the same thing because you're basically keeping quiet,
Yeah.
As the new year begins, many Republicans have shown dissatisfaction at your administration's handling of the war. You heard that behind the scenes, your own Secretary of the Treasury, Salmon P. Chase, another piece of shit, has begun making moves to replace you on the Republican ticket this upcoming election. All right, so this is we got to be careful because he's a radical, like a super bad radical. So we got to be very careful.
All right, let's take a look at these 3 options. It's not the first time Chase has lashed out on us, and we've worked through this wavering at every juncture before. We should bring him closer into the fold. See what policy issues I could with on that could claim his machination. We cannot have this right now. While we cannot easily remove him from office, we should reduce his role. Okay, Okay, pretty much just hearing that sounds like a bad idea, to be perfectly honest to me.
Yeah,
Give as many of his duties, yeah. Alright. Chase never forgave me for taking the nomination 4 years ago. I hoped his cabinet position would heal the wounds, but that appears to have been a faulty hope. Alas, we cannot afford a cabinet shakeup at this severe midst of the war. Alright, I'm not too sure I even like this last part where it says let him have his way. I feel like the first one might be a more better option.
Yeah, let's go. I will go with the first one as well. Let's see.
Alright.
With the challenge from the radicals looking ever more likely, your overtures to Chase do not go unnoticed. You did good. You did a good job.
All right.
He sees this and said, "Yeah." He's like, "It should give you some breathing room." Good news comes from the Democratic camp. Convention. Oh shit!
Oh shit!
Their own convention seems as divided as yours, which did happen. They were very split.
Yes.
The Democrats are split between the Copperheads, Peace Democrats. Copperheads were basically the Democrats that wanted to end the war and basically let the South go. If you're wondering.
Yes, that's the so basically in a nutshell, they pretty much they were James Buchanan. If James Buchanan had like multiple clones.
Yeah, they're like, let the South go, let them do whatever the fuck they want.
You do you, South. James Buchanan, are you hiding behind a curtain again? Woo!
Trying to end the war with an armistice, which basically means letting the South go and do it and let them be their own country. And war Democrats desiring to win decisively and rebuild the Union by force. We do anything to reach out to these war Democrats. Okay, this one's interesting. Okay. Go ahead and read the options. All
right. So the first one, it says we already have a positive relationship with the Baltimore Sun. I'm guessing that's a newspaper or something.
Yeah, that's the newspaper.
Yeah. We have them publish something about Clement Vallanhagen.
Yeah, he was this terrifying motherfucker that he was a Peace Democrat, and he actually got arrested in I think it was in Illinois, where he basically was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna let the South go, let the South go," and he was arrested pretty much.
We're gonna let the South go. Hey, wait, why am I arrested? It's free speech, right? Lincoln.
Lincoln. I was about to say I love Lincoln.
Yeah, Lincoln him to the Copperheads and saying that they are in accord with him. Okay. Many war Democrats could be won if we were to moderate on some of our pet issues. We should empathize that we are fighting a war for the Union, not for.
Ooh, no, yeah. Already, that's a big no.
All right. Focus on the war efforts, and the war Democrats will come. This is a single issue election for many. We shouldn't pretend to be what we are not. All right. Honestly, for me, I think the third one might sound a little bit more better.
I will go with number one because I'll go with number one. Let's go and see what happens.
All right.
Vallanhagen is certainly a roguish villain as any. Despite the persistent democratic enmity toward you, the revelation of these speeches to crowds of Copperheads goes some way in scaring war Democrats to your camp.
Okay.
So we got them.
All right. You want to see the polls real quick?
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look.
All right.
Okay, so not much difference so far.
Yeah, not much too different. It does look like McClellan did get a little bit more support than the last one and everything.
Yeah,
but everything else
nothing's gonna change until like I said, Sherman takes Atlanta. William becomes the Sherman takes Atlanta. So that's gonna take a while.
So pretty much everything else. Actually, let's take a look right here. So this is Massachusetts. Lincoln is beating him, but just barely by 2%. And Rhode Island, Rhode Island is looking a little bit more in favor for Lincoln, while in Vermont, Vermont this time. All right, so third party actually, pretty.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll talk about Fremont right now because one of the question coming up right now is about Fremont. We'll talk about that right now.
All right, go ahead.
So let's go back to the question.
All right, let's go.
John C. Fremont, former presidential candidate. John C. Fremont was the very first Republican presidential candidate in 1856. He ran against James Buchanan.
And pretty much we all know he lost on that one.
Yeah, he lost. He almost lost, but he did pretty good for like a brand new political party at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
Mexican war hero and your former commander of the forces, Missouri. Basically, long story short as to why he got fired, he basically became a dictator in Missouri, and he basically did it like an emancipation proclamation, freeing the slaves without authorization. And Lincoln had to basically revoked the order, and then he basically relieved him from his post. So he basically became a dictator in Missouri, pretty much.
I see.
Has officially given a letter of resignation from the military and has written a scathing editorial discussing your working relationship in the New York Tribune. How will you respond?
All right, let's see. All right, we cannot let this turncoat get away with this. We should make an official statement on this, decrying him as a jaded suitor whose actions in Missouri did nothing but exacerbate local tensions and worsen the Union position. Okay. While we shouldn't address Fremont directly, we should begin pushing the scale a bit on public support, organize some papers to write positively on our progress on the war, and maybe some biblical biographical work on General Grant in the Western Theater. Okay.
I think that number 2 would be the best option.
All right, let's try number 2 then. This is a good idea. While it didn't do anything to win back radicals, strictly policy-wise, it's a good idea to focus boosting turnout to migrate any damaging effects on a potential Freeman candidacy. Okay.
All right. There have been calls for George B. McClellan, the former general-in-chief. Oh, that piece of shit! The former general-in-chief, who you replaced after failing to pursue Lee after Antietam, to return to his former position.
Hey, I didn't fail. I just merely failed to
win. He is visiting Washington from Trenton. Do you wish to speak? No, ignore him.
All right. Okay. All right. So pretty much with that, then. All right. We'll go with the second.
No, not that one. The third one.
Oh, third one. All right. He likely wishes to see me as little as I wish to see him. There's no need to pretend otherwise. He never wrote back to me anyway.
McClellan steers clear of you during his way to Washington, and that's that. The newspapers make much of the apparent animus between the two of you, but avoiding him
may be best for your health.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ulysses S. Grant, hero of Chattanooga, and the man who took Vicksburg and cut the Confederacy in half, has arrived in Washington, leaving William Tecumseh Sherman in command of the Western Theater. Grant's arrival is met with much speculation. Henry Halleck has come to you asking if Grant is to replace him.
Yes, he is. Okay. I hope. Okay. Honestly, pretty much I like how all 4 of them is just like yes, he is, and they give like different answers and stuff. So let's take a look at them. All right. So the first one, Lincoln hopes that Halleck will accept graciously. Yes, he is. However, Halleck has served admirably and capitally in the field, and I would like to keep him on as Grant's chief of staff. However, I hope Halleck will accept a military governorship when we finally retake Florida or Mississippi. Halleck has proven unable to control his subordinates at Bull Run, and ever since that event, he has shrunk from responsibility whenever it was possible. We need a general more inclined to action and discipline, a general like Grant.
I will go with number 2. Actually.
All right. Well, number 2.
Let's go with number 2. Halleck takes to the motion with dignity and admits that he had planned to offer this shifted position himself if the occasion were to arise.
The two men seem to complement each other's skills as well. All right, so pretty much we did a good thing.
All right, let's go ahead. The promotion of Grant from lieutenant general to commander of the army is a position not officially used since Washington's command has caused a stir. While Grant has gotten quite a bit of good press for his recent victories in the West, the bloody stalemate at Shiloh still looms at large in memory. There are rumors of Grant's fondness for drink.
We know that. We definitely know that.
Do you wish to make any attempt to dispel these worries?
Let's go ahead and read. Grant is a good man and a better commander. What losses occur on field can easily be seen as mere interpretations of his stellar campaigns through the West. Grant is a good man. The rumors of his alcoholism have been greatly exaggerated, and he has personally promised me that he has been temperate. What in the field? I'm not sure if I believe that. Ignore these rumors. We promoted Grant to get the job done, not look good in the papers. Grant has a long and successful career dating back decades. Even Fremont must admit that. His total war strategies has been nothing but a success, and we need to be aggressive to win this fight.
Yeah, that one. Number 4. We'll go with number 4.
All right, let's go. Any doubts of Grant's capabilities should be dispelled by his heroisms during the
Vicksburg campaign.
Vicksburg campaign. With the spirit backing what little controversy remains. All right, good, very good. Very good.
The Senate has successfully voted in favor of a constitutional amendment a constitutional amendment permanently and universally banning slavery in the United States. The 13th Amendment has a long road to travel in the far more divided House. Will you push for a vote anyway?
Yes, this will send a message to the world of righteousness of our cause. Though he may be poor, one man shall one man shall be a slave. Let's see. Colfax lean on Congress. Clearly, we want the amendment to pass, but the war is our top priority. Meanwhile, we will ensure that support for the amendment will feature front and center at the party convention. We will do better. We would do better to keep this close to the chest. A failed vote could kill this bill, and we still have time to lean on Congress here.
Honestly, number one and number two will be good. So it's up to you.
All right. To me, let us go with number 2 and such. Let's see what happens.
Right. This makes you seem uncaring and distant to the radicals in Congress, but you will undoubtedly benefit in the North from your public support. This bill, however, still has a long way to go. Okay,
so pretty much in some way, like we're still gaining support from the North by doing this and such. So pretty much, I don't think we have too much to worry about. But let's take a look at the polls real quick.
All right. Nothing yet.
Okay. So
Oregon.
So pretty much Lincoln and McClellan are back to being tied in Oregon and such. Let's see. This is about the same as terms of Freeman. Oh, okay. So now pretty much Freeman and Lincoln are tied. McClellan is in a slight lead in Maine and such. And in terms of Michigan is also McClellan. Wisconsin, Lincoln is ahead by like.
Click on where it says electoral vote estimate.
Which one? Which one?
Electoral vote estimate to your right. Electoral vote at the. Okay.
Okay.
Electoral vote estimate. Let's see. 185 to 84. Okay.
Okay, that's in Kentucky. For this one, that's Wisconsin.
Okay. Yeah. So 44. All right.
No.
Yeah. Let's go back to the game.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go back to the game.
The recruitment of black men into the military begun last year has been controversial, and many of your detractors have claimed that this is a sign that you plan to give completely equal rights to blacks brought into the country. Do you have any ways to assuage these fears?
The time has come for these United States to bring forth the fulfill of the promise made 77 years ago to create a perfect union, one of free men and free labor. We shan't cease in our endeavor until we have created a society where all men are created equal. We shall keep silent on this matter. Speaking too much on it serves only to scare moderates, especially when I actually do support black suffrage. We should remember what happened when I spoke in favor of women's suffrage. Oh, okay, this part I did not know about. What actually happened? If you remember this part.
Yeah, I think it was. He's talking about when he ran for the Senate in 1858. This was years before he ran for for president.
Okay.
Yeah. So honestly, I will go with that one, but keep reading the other ones.
Okay. Yeah. Let's at least take a look at the other two. All right. We will certainly treat those. Game. Okay, you know what? Like, thank God we have editing for this and everything. So I'm pretty sure already of you in here pretty much knows what I'm gonna read right here. But pretty much thanks to editing, I could edit this back after so long. So you know what? Fuck it. We will certainly treat those who fight for the Union with gratitude and respect. We have no plans to expand or enshrine the rights of blacks within our white society. Any suggestion otherwise is pure fantasy.
If you think that one's bad, read the last one.
Okay, let's see right here. Oh my God, look at that! Another one! 2 of them! Oh wow! Okay. All right, let's see right here. All right. As I said in the past, I support a national initiative to return all Oh yeah, okay. Actually, that is true. I do remember my history teacher actually talking about this. This is actually true. Yeah, like pretty much there was a plan in Lincoln thinking of like pretty much it would be best if they would just send all of the blacks back to Africa and such.
It's called colonization, which at the time you might be thinking, okay, is this racist? Yeah, it is. No matter how hard you to try to think about it, it is racist.
Yeah. Which, which, fun fact, which I'm pretty sure, like, some already know, but, fun fact, yeah, pretty much in, Africa and everything, one of their capitals is actually named after a former U.S. president, James Monroe.
Yeah, Monrovia, that's the name of the capital. That's in Liberia, actually.
Yes, that is, actually, and I believe that was actually the, place where, like, Lincoln did initially plan to return the, blacks to, like, had that plan actually gone through.
But thankfully, he didn't do that. So,
yeah.
But still.
But anyway, okay, yeah. All right. So pretty much, yeah. I support a national. Yeah. Why can't I speak on that word?
The war has not changed my view. That and ends can never inhabit this land as equals, and there's only
right. They should go back to where they came from. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's go with number 2 and such. Let's go with number 2.
We do remember, you lost your election.
Perhaps this is wise, but many Republicans were hoping for more. You will have to contend with radicals who take your silence for indifference.
I think you did the right choice because this is the safer option. So
yeah,
you did the right choice.
Yeah, we did.
All right, 1/4 of the Union Army is made up of immigrants. Do you have any interest in reaching out to any of these particular groups in particular?
Okay, all right, so first one, we have our German immigrants. Our German immigrants have been a part of our base from the beginning, and we should retake our lead in the northwest through them. Instruct Stanton to put Franz Siegel in charge of the army of West Virginia, and make sure it reaches the Dutchmen. We cannot do this with radical split. Natives are the last solid base we have left, and we shouldn't do anything that could alienate them. The West has seen an influx of Chinese immigrants, which pretty much like that is true. Given the like a gold rush and everything, yes, it is true. We could shore up our support out there merely by acknowledging their legitimacy as citizens in the region. Alrighty, and the last one, the Irish have become majorities in many northeastern cities. We could win them over from the Democrats with enough gesture to the rights of Catholics and downplaying the temperance element of our party. I'm not too sure if that's actually a good plan.
No, because remember, being a Catholic back then was
yeah, okay, actually, yeah, being a Catholic back then, pretty much like you might as well also get hanged as well too.
All right, so I will go with the German immigrants. Actually,
yeah, same here. Actually,
with the German immigrants, so. Many 48ers have enlisted at the encouragement of local Turner clubs, and this will help your outreach with those who have gone to fight Michigel.
Alrighty.
All right. A faction. This is the part that I was waiting for. Okay, a faction of radical Republicans have officially split off from your caucus, spurred on by that bastard Horace Greeley, riding and Salmon Chase at that piece of shit's machinations. They plan to nominate John C. Fremont for the presidency, calling for your removal from office.
All right. Let's see. That insubordinate cur. We must immediately put pieces about his disastrous command in Missouri in as many of our papers as possible. This is unfortunate, but we have higher priorities. We know we are fighting the war. The right way. And the voters will realize that in time. I'm a little lean towards that, but
I'm not going to go with that one. All right.
Yeah, let's take a look. We need to fitness this very delicacy. By coming out too strongly against this group, we risk losing what radicals we have left. We should mostly keep quiet and have Seward give more.
Seward is your Secretary of State.
Yeah. Have Seward give more public appearance to remind voters we are still the party's first choice. Those turncoats, get Chase in here. Let's see if we can get him to disavow the group and damn the league before it gets out of control.
I can imagine Lincoln at that time being like, Chase!
Chase!
Yeah,
number 4.
I will go with number 4.
We want to try number 4? All right, let's see what happens then.
Chase firmly declares his neutrality in the coming dust-up, which is known, which you know is code for protected support for Fremont. You will likely have to strike a costly deal with him going forward to keep him in your camp. All right, no worries. We'll come back to this later.
All right.
The time for your here we go.
Here we go.
The time for your own convention has arrived. Built on support from crossover war Democrats and those Republicans who remain by your side. The National Unity Convention has yet to select a meeting place. And wherever you pick will have far-reaching implications in the days to come. Okay, so historically, it took place in Baltimore. Historically.
Okay.
But let's be a little different. Let's go with Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania? Okay. Alrighty, so... Alright, so pretty much we're going to go Pennsylvania. Alright then, let's try it.
The convention is held in the shadow of fresh graves left over from last year's fighting. By all means, an invigorating success. It overshadows that of the Radicals who meet in Cleveland last week.
Great. Very great. And honestly, okay, I'm a little curious. Let's take a look at the polls real quick. Okay, didn't lean into support. Pretty much still the same as it is so far.
Yeah, nothing's gonna change until, like I said, Sherman takes Atlanta. So, like I said.
Alright, let's go.
You have officially been renominated for the office of president. The National Union ticket begins to slow trudge to keep you in office. Is there anything you feel you could retain your position? Honestly, just focus on the war.
Alright, so pretty much we need to keep a platform, nominated ticket, we finish the union, we should have a core platform. So honestly, it sounds like you want to go with number 1 then, right?
No, I just said war. Like, I'm a wartime president. That should be your chief focus, yeah, because right now, the top priority is war, winning the war. Not the other things are like separate things. The war is the most important. The war is the most important issue at the moment for me. For Lincoln, I should say. My bad, Lincoln. Yeah.
Well, I mean, technically, it should also be for me as well too, because technically I'm playing as Lincoln and such. So
yeah. So I should say you. My bad. Yeah.
No, it's fine. All right, so number 3 then. All right, let's do this. This is the most persuasive argument you can employ right now. In spite of persistent grievance, a great majority of voters want to see this war won, and with any luck, will entrust you with its continuation. Okay.
Though fully expected to be renominated, Vice President Hamlin was surprised to be dropped by the convention from your ticket. Okay, here we go.
Here we are.
In his place, Democratic Senator Andrew Johnson, huge mistake, but they didn't know Lincoln was going to be killed. Yeah. So yeah, has been chosen for the role. How would you go about your political rhetoric and actions on the matter? Okay.
All right. So let's take a look at these. I am sad to see such a friend as Hamilton go, but this was a necessary course of action to win over Southerners already under Union rule, and those yet to be. I will express my regret at how events turn out, and promise to do my best to get him back in the Senate. Okay. Okay. Honestly, doesn't sound too bad. Truthfully, Hamlin's sympathies for the radicals were too strong to pursue.
Yes, that is true, because he was an ally of the radical Republicans.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We will make sure he and the public get the message that our ticket is one of national unity. Hopefully serving to discourage moderates from bolting. Okay, that's also not too bad. Let's see. Hamlin was replaced against my wishes. Although I respect the decisions of the convention's delegates,
that's not true. Yeah. That's not true.
All right, I am sad to see such a friend as Hamlin go, but this was necessary course of action to win over Southerners.
It's the same.
Okay, that's the same thing. Honestly, for me, I would honestly go with number 2 the most.
I'm gonna go with the one you just read, the bottom one.
This one.
Yeah. Let's see what happens.
All right, here we go. Hamlin was unaware this was your personal prerogative, and is saddened and embittered to find out. While concerned somewhat by your assurance, he cannot find it in himself to campaign for you. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Grant's overland campaign has gotten off to a rocky start. What was to be a quick skirmish in the forest of Spotsylvania County in Virginia has turned into perhaps the bloodiest few days in the war. The Battle of the Wilderness has led to uncountable casualties on both sides, and has been considered inconclusive. Grant, however, insists that he should continue to pursue Lee despite the losses. Will you allow him to do so?
We cannot afford to make the same mistake as after Gettysburg. Pursue, drive them towards Richmond. Perhaps we could find a middle. We could find a middle answer here. Send the army of the Shenandoah after Lee.
Shenandoah, yeah, after Lee.
Shenandoah after Lee, and keep the Potomac near the capital to recapture. We may seize the moment without killing our own men. Grant is too impulsive here. Many are still mourning the dead. We must allow them some rest. All right, honestly, I might go with the middle one. Honestly,
I will go with the first one.
All right, let's try the first one then. Grant's ruthless pursuit led to battle of the
Spotsylvania Courthouse, which
quickly turns into a slaughter. The war's costliest, so far. Both sides claim victory, though Grant points to the path has been carved towards Richmond. Okay.
All right. In the south, William Tecumseh Sherman has entered territory where telegraph lines have been cut.
Yeah.
Messages. Okay, here we go. This is the march toward Atlanta.
All right, here we are. All right, so we are in no place to take risks like this. We need him rebuilding those lines and reporting regularly. Sherman should be focusing less on Georgia than we taking Mississippi right away. If we could get through, we should have him reroute. Grant trusts the man, as do I. Let the bird through Georgia like a wildfire.
Yes, that one. I will go with that one.
All right. Here we go. Burn, baby, burn!
True to his word, Sherman proceeds in the task of making Georgia howl. Despite a setback at Kennesaw Mountain, his momentum goes unchecked as the division of the Mississippi marches toward Atlanta. Oh boy.
Alrighty.
New York Governor Horatio Seymour is expected to be your Democratic opponent for the president. He is extremely popular in the Union's largest state, and the draft riots still stain your reputation there. Do you have any plans to regain your reputation in the Empire State?
We should remember who we have in our pocket. Get William Stewart to make some appearances throughout the state in support of the National Union ticket. Seymour never had the coalition Stewart was able to build there. The real way into the state is through his young man. Focus on showing up support of our troops. They will do our campaigning for us. New York City is a lost cause. We should reach out to reach out to Miller Fillmore and everything. You know that guy that pretty much passed the bill that said hey, slave, pretty much you want to get up to the north? Too bad. Too bad. We're taking you back down to the south, buddy.
Yeah. Honestly, that's a bit. As soon as I saw Miller Fillmore, I'm like, no. You mean that guy that signed the fugitive slave act?
I mean, like Miller Fillmore. Okay, Miller Fillmore. You may have done one good thing and everything by getting Japan to open a store, but let's be honest, you suck.
Yeah. No. The guy that signed the fugitive slave act. No, fuck you.
Seymour has always been unpopular with Tammany Hall.
Tammany Hall. All right, so Tammany Hall is basically like a political organization in New York, and they're very corrupt. So I wouldn't go.
Perhaps we should make some offers and get them to cross the party. Okay, honestly, to me, it's either number 1 or number 2, and to me, I'm leaning towards more number 2.
I lean more towards number 1, actually.
All right, let's try 1 then. Stewart is more than happy to sing your praises in the state once he is governed. However, outside New York, there are questions as to why you would distract your Secretary of State in a time of war.
I mean, we have to campaign somehow, so...
Yeah, that is true and such. That's true.
All right, Grant moves toward Richmond. That's in Virginia, if you're wondering. Mm-hmm. And has the option to choose the field of battle and lay the groundwork for taking the city. Where should he move?
We can attempt to flank Lee, cutting him off the secessionist capital if we move quickly. Grant should be more cautious in his approach there. We need to secure a line, not headlines. We should focus first on securing the Shenandoah Valley. There's a direct path towards Washington through that valley. We cannot afford to keep that route open. Actually, that doesn't sound all too bad. We need to aggressively attack Lee's defense line near Meckerson Phil, and Move On Richmond.
Number 4 sounds a little bit too aggressive.
Yeah, honestly, for me,
even though in the answer, I will go with number 1. All
right, we'll try number 1. Ensuring battle of Hanover Junction did little but reroute Lee's march towards Washington. Technically touted a field victory, but Grant's position remains nearly the same.
Yeah, it's better than having having a horrible number of casualties. So that's better than nothing.
That's true.
Right. Even in these unprecedented times, some domestic issues follow the president. The Pacific Railway Act meant to build a transcontinental railroad. Yeah, you remember that was a big issue at the time of 1860.
Yes, that was.
Has the right on your
test. And pretty much, we have to remember that railroads in America were still a very brand new thing during that time.
Yeah, they started appearing in the 1820s, if I'm not mistaken. So
I pretty much it was either the 1820s or the 1830s, but yeah, pretty much as soon as railroads were getting popular in the UK, America took one look at that and just being like, well, why don't we have our own choo-choo? Let's build our own choo-choo.
We want some of that.
yeah, pretty much we want some of that.
But I will say this controversial opinion: I think British steam locomotives look better than American locomotives.
Yeah, I mean, okay, honestly, to me and everything, pretty much it could definitely go hand in hand, but obviously, considering that, both you and me grew up with, a certain blue tankage and everything, pretty much, I cannot deny that, there are some, locomotion, there are some, British locomotives and everything that actually do look very good.
Indeed. All right,
anyway, so pretty much, of course, this was something I campaigned for, the 1860, of course, I'll sign it up. Of course, I'll still sign it. Let us also reach out to Greedley to see if this will turn the tide on his reporting of our action. This is something he has been pushing for. He has been pushing for years in that damn paper of his. We cannot even consider frivolous expansionists while we're trying to fund the war. Okay, honestly, number 3 doesn't sound all too bad, but what do you think?
I will go with number 1.
Number 1? Alright. This could not have become at a better time. Industrialists, especially in larger cities like Cleveland and Chicago, applaud the measures, and you finally get some good press. Alright, good, very good. And you know what? Let's take a look. See? Ooh, look at this.
Ooh, Illinois is our side now.
Yeah, pretty much Illinois is really in our support. And hey, look at this. We're also slowly gaining some support in California as well too. Pretty much we're getting tied. And in terms of Oregon, alright, pretty much, so far, it's definitely getting more and more in our favor so far.
Yeah, let's check Indiana real quick.
Alright, Indiana, alright, we're still very close. We're getting close. McClellan's still ahead by 1 vote, and, oh, look at that, in Michigan, they're tied, actually, so, alright. So far, we're doing very good. So let's keep it up.
We're doing good so far. Running this war has been expensive. Your income tax from 2 years ago remains controversial. Yet Congress has passed a revenue act lowering taxes generally, but raising them on the highest earners, as well as increasing taxes on business. Will you sign the bill?
I will not sign the bill. Finances notwithstanding, it's a morally unconsiderable act to take a man's property with prejudice just because he owns more than the next. We shall seek this revenue elsewhere. I will sign it. It's an unusual bill to be sure, but a wartime necessary, which I intend to expire after its purpose has been served. What do you think?
Which one do you think?
To me, that's actually a very good one. All right, let me take a look at the question real quick. Income tax in 2 years remains controversial. All right, the Revenues Act lowering taxes generally, but raising them on the highest earners, which, honestly, I'm not too sure, if the rich will actually be, pretty much I'm not too sure if the rich will be on board on that and such, as well as increasing taxes on business. Alright, just by the sound of it, if I was Lincoln, I would probably not want to sign the bill, but what do you think?
I will take a risk and sign it.
Alright, we're taking a risk here, folks. So, is it, alright, Barty, so, deal or no deal?
Deal.
Alright. What do you look at that? There's a little pushback to this bill, which is appreciated by many taxpayers. It will help raise some, whoa, look at this, $250 million in a sorely needed revenue and everything. And pretty much keep in mind, this was back in like 1864. That's almost equivalent of like getting like a billion bucks back then.
Yeah, exactly.
All right,
let's keep going. Horatio Seymour has officially declined to seek the nomination for the Democratic Party this year. The likely candidate has become the young Napoleon himself and that piece of shit, George B. McClellan.
If anything, this is a sign that the Democrats cannot keep their own house in order. Oh boy, just imagine if Lincoln was to say that in today's day and age. We must immediately begin referring him as Seymour Warmer. He could kill much of his supporters earlier if we finance this well. The man has a humility of a peacock. Hopefully, the voters can see through his peering. He was the worst general I have yet commissioned. All right. He could still sap support from the troops. He must empathize our progress of the war since its dismissal. Perhaps even my own history in the Black Hawk War.
Yes, Lincoln did serve in that war, by the way, the Black Hawk War.
That
was his only military experience.
All right.
I will go. To me, number 2 or number 3 could go hand in hand, so it's up to you.
You know what? Let's go with number 2 and such. Let's see what happens.
It's the humility of a peacock.
Drawing attention to McClellan's ego and dramatic pronouncements may have been the character issue you need to turn this race around. You certainly shares certain traits with Fremont in that regard, and okay, because of that, let's take a look at the polls real quick and see how much.
Okay,
not too much. It's still basically but look at that. Like, all right, so pretty much Fremont still has that 1% vote back in California, so that's pretty interesting. But it does look like we are getting a little bit more support in Massachusetts and Rhode Island, and actually a little bit more in Maine as well.
Yeah. The states we need to win are New York, Pennsylvania, and Ohio.
All right, well, in terms of New York, all right, so pretty much we definitely need, we need to basically step out our A game with New York and such, because right now McClellan does look like he could be in the running mate for it. Yeah, and you said Pennsylvania for the other one. Pennsylvania, all right, we also got our work to do in Pennsylvania as well too to win their support.
Ohio as well.
And Ohio, okay, we definitely need to do a lot of work in Ohio and such to basically win Lincoln that nomination.
The presidency, the re-election,
or at least the re-election and such. But yeah.
Despite Horace Greeley's efforts to displace you on the Republican ticket, it is August, and the New York Tribune has yet to endorse John C. Fremont for the presidency. Will you make any attempt to mend fences with Greeley's machine?
Let's see. It was only just last month when Greeley begged me to make overtures to the traders for the
pacification.
Pacification. In 62, I was too passive for his liking. In 63, too indecisive. Now in 64, I am too aggressive. Make up your damn mind, man. To hell with him. He can say what he likes through that rag of his. It isn't no concern of mine anymore.
Yeah, Greeley was infamous for being this goddamn flip-flopper. So
yeah. All right, so let's take a look at the other ones real quick. In this regard, I would much prefer to show rather than tell. We will continue our efforts to draw the war to its conclusion, and as victory approaches, I am sure we will win Greeley's endorsement. Probably not. I
think number 2 will be the safest option for me. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's take a look at number 3 real quick. I did appreciate Greeley's role in helping prepare the public for the Emancipation Proclamation. I would like to have a personal meeting with him, where hopefully we could break bread and bridge the divide of the years past.
Okay, we'll go.
So, either want to go number 2
or 2. Either 3 or number 2 could go hand in hand. So it's up to you.
All right. Let's try number 2 then. That does sound more of a better option.
All right. You've opted to play the long game. It certainly can work, as a hasty endorsement of Fremont will leave Greeley looking like a fool when victory becomes certainty. Perhaps displaying his reticence.
Alrighty.
Right. Last year, West Virginia split from its namesake to become the 35th state. If the war were to end, would you require its reintegration into the Commonwealth? No.
Yeah, pretty much these folks bravely succeeded from Virginia and joined the fight to sustain the Union. It is the will of the state's people to maintain their hard-fought independence, which, To return these lands would be to portray the clause. Yeah. Gesture like this could rebuild the relationship between states. If Virginia can be whole again, yeah. And third option here, we could rejoin the countries to the Commonwealth. We'll move the capital of Wheeling, placing Virginia's seat in power. Yeah, okay, so pretty much, yeah, number one is definitely the better option, because, because pretty much even, because I'm pretty sure all of us have known that, yeah, after the Civil War, like, pretty much West Virginia became the new country of the United States.
A new state, yeah.
Or at least a new state, yeah. Same difference.
West Virginia
hardly agrees, Mr. President.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Anyway, another state will soon enter the Union, as the Constitutional Convention has begun in Nevada. This former satellite of the Utah territory is to ratify a constitution mere days before the election. Do we have any plans to reach out to these voters to be? Right. Honestly, I would go with the old Whig promise for a transcontinental railroad. Because, like I said, the railroad was a big issue for the West. A very big issue.
All right, then pretty much we'll go to number two then. All right, number two it is. In a local relative distance on the war, it is right to focus issues more permanent on the state's population. The railroad should be as winning an issue here as ever. While massive deposits of silver have created a mining community certain to support you.
All right. Andrew Johnson was selected for his appeal in the southern border states. He is, however, eager to finish his work as military governor of Tennessee. How would you best utilize his presence during the campaign?
I want Andrew Johnson to make a circuit throughout the northeast and northwest, rallying Democrats of all stripes to the ticket. He would be our model of a loyal Southerner, and hopefully turn sympathizers of those who have become presidents against his folks. I would prefer Johnson to focus on matters of government in Tennessee. He is the most effective tool we have in that state to keep it loyal, and I fear an active campaign may dishearten those with radical sympathies. I don't want that drunkard anywhere near my campaign. All right, he should stay put in Nashville. He should stay put in Nashville while we rally on the newspapers to make our case. Wow, damn, like, damn.
If you're wondering what that means, is because when he was inaugurated in 1865,
pretty much I have heard a story about there was one part where pretty much Johnson was trying to give a speech and he was plastered. He was fucking plastered.
And that was in his inaugural speech. Like he just took off. He was like, "Oh, let's see this is fucking." Yeah, he was very drunk. He was very drunk. Anyway,
all right, and then the last one, Johnson should have should travel across Ohio, Tennessee, and Kentucky as he sees fit, rattling loyal Unionists to the cause. I will let him decide how he divides his time between government and campaign. Which honestly, the last one does sound a little bit better and such.
I'll go with that one. Yeah, let's go with that
one. Johnson proves an effective ordiner to the border states, and his imposition of stringent loyalty oath in Tennessee should help keep that state under your thumbs. All right,
that's good news. Let's check the polls.
So, all right. So Tennessee is
this is good news.
Look pretty much West Virginia. Ooh, look at that. All right. So pretty much, all right. We are getting more support from Indiana. We're getting a little bit more support from Michigan, Wisconsin. Let's see. Okay, I think we might.
Okay, New York is slowly starting to go into our side.
Slowly starting to go in direction. And I believe even look at that. Even Ohio's just you know what? Maybe we probably should vote for Lincoln. Pretty much same thing with California. Now it's going back to Lincoln. Nevada's also looking strong for Lincoln, and so it's Oregon as well.
Yeah. So all right, let's go back to here we go. Petersburg, Virginia stands as the most important outpost connecting the Confederacy's capital in Richmond to the industrial center of Atlanta. Grant claims that a prolonged siege may be in order, but has an alternative plan to take the city in quick time. To which plan would you give your approval? Okay, this is the one where basically you don't know what's going to happen, so we have to pray that we get the answer right.
All right, so the first one says, victory at Petersburg will hesitate the capture of Richmond and final victory. The plan is too important to fumble. Grant shall lay siege to the city and persist for however long it takes. And
No.
these last ones are the same thing, but they have like a bit of like a different answer and such. So pretty much like, all right, I trust General Grant to make the decision necessary to win the city of Petersburg. If he has a plan to take the city without a prolonged siege, he should pursue it aggressively. The next one says, if he has a plan to take the city without a prolonged siege, it's within his right to pursue it, albeit cautiously. And if he has if he has the same plan, he should pursue it in the manner he sees fit.
All right, I will go aggressively.
Aggressively? Alrighty, so let's
The
go
first
aggressively.
one.
Right here. Alright. Success! Nice name here. Baldy Smith's
Decisive assault has greatly.
The Decisive assault has greatly advanced the position of the Union Army. Pretty much what Baldy did was that, like, pretty much what Baldy did, he came up to, like, the Confederate Army and kept beating his ruler over and over and over again. And
Petersburg is surely soon to fall. This could possibly hasten the war by the 6 months or more. That's good news.
Yeah, that is very good news. Very good news.
All right, read this one.
All right, let's see here. Francis Blair has called you to his home. That's not good. The aged founder of the Republican Party and honorary cabinet member of every president since Jackson, holds great sway over Congress and has staked out a conservative position on many issues, much to the chagrin of the radical Republicans. A personal friend of Jefferson Davis, he is pleading that you attempt to vie for peace with the Confederacy. Lest he thinks any attempt to pass the 13th Amendment. Do you have any interest in doing this?
All right, so Jefferson Davis, we all know he's the president of the Confederate States. So
yes.
Let's see. An interesting prospect from the outset. Let it be known that we will agree to no armistice that compromises national unity or the eventual goal of abolition. Under those terms, and may be amenable to meeting with the Confederate leadership. Okay, I will go with number one.
Right.
I'll go with number one.
Alright, and let's take a look at the other two real quick. I gave no assurance, but I will ask Blair to give me at least until the capture of Savannah to reach a final decision. If we are too soon in a position where victory is inevitable, I do not wish hamstring myself with culinary gestures quite yet. And the third one, under no circumstances will I meet with the traitor Davis. Until he has in his hand a document of unconditional surrender, I can pass the amendment with or without Blair's support.
Actually, let's go number two.
Number two?
You think let's go with number two.
All right, number two it is. Blair is at least satisfied by your reasoning and will continue his attempt to arrange a face-to-face once winter commences and the election is over with. All right, that's not too bad.
All right, let's take a look at the polls real quick because I want to check something.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. It's still getting to the blue states. Released for a couple of them.
Okay, so we're so good. All right, keep going. All right. Confederate General U-Boat Early, commander of Lee's cavalry, has maneuvered around Grant's lines and has troops headed straight towards Washington. Do you plan on evacuating the city? No.
Yes, we cannot risk the citizens of the city to be captured. No, we have a battlement of artillery at the ready for this very reason.
Yeah, no. Go with no.
Alright. You get to watch the skirmishing of Fort Stevens at the city's defense easily hold Early back. You may have had greater instincts than many claim. Okay.
All right, another one of these. All right. Grant has come to you asking with a plan for Petersburg. He plans to dig under Lee's defenses and detonate an explosive, exposing Lee's flank and allowing Union forces to enter the city. This
is exactly the kind of plan we promote a link for. Make it so. Make it so. This plan is insane. Too many places and this can go wrong. And Grant was the man who pushed for the siege in the first place.
All right, no, ignore the last one. All right.
All right, so pretty much any of the first three then.
I'll go with the first one. All right, here we go. Grant's plan to blow our dinner was delayed by 2 hours, and the charge quickly became the slaughter once Manho organized a counterattack. It is unlikely to hamper the siege's effort, but this stunning defeat is very... Oh, God. Fuck.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the polls real quick.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, surprisingly, it didn't do much damage. That's good news.
All right. Yeah, pretty much looking at this, it looks to be somewhat about the same and such. So
yeah, so thank God we didn't shoot ourselves in the foot.
Yeah.
Right. George B. McClellan, that piece of shit, has been officially nominated for president. Despite his vocal support for continuing the war, his party has paired him with a radical peace Democrat, George B. Pendleton. George B. Pendleton is the guy that is married to, I believe it was the sister of Francis Scott Key, the guy that wrote the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh, interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, I have to check.
All right.
And set out a Copperhead platform that repudiates many of McClellan's views. In his acceptance speech, McClellan has explicitly cited your treatment of him while leading Union forces as an example of your poor judgment. How will you respond?
We need not to give any air to his attacks, but we can instead rely on pointing out the contradictions between the men and his party. Their house is in a disarray. Can any good Democrat trust McLean to make good on his promises? We shouldn't be too forceful, but perhaps we could remind voters of the disaster at Antietam. The anniversary is coming up soon anyway. We should immediately begin publishing flyers on his incompetence and cowardice on the field. Discharging him was the best decision I've ever made in this war. We should not respond at all. McLean can call all he likes, but the facts are not on his side. We have a wartime record, while he has only establishments about his failures of a career.
Can't call. See, he's calling. Like, we should pay attention. Yeah, let's go with the last one.
All right, we'll go with the last one. This will be a winning strategy. Some
disaffected.
Go ahead.
Some disaffected Copperheads might vote for McClellan. Well, obviously that's gonna happen because those are traitors.
Yeah.
But you have a winning platform and a solid record to run on. While the other guy is like, I'm
really fair to win.
The official platform of the Democratic Party has been labeled the war as a failure and called for a negotiated peace, aka letting the South be their own country. Even the more moderate of the peace Democrats are uncomfortable with this result, especially after the traitor Clement Vallandigham showed his face at the convention to rapturous applause. You know what that means. Your advisors think this presents an opening to court this alienated block of voters. All right, this one should be pretty simple.
All right, let's see here. We must seize this moment and demand McClellan denounce the Copperheads who wrote this party's platform. By forcing him to come out for one side or the other, we will divide the Democrats and make a victory a certainty.
No, he's a peacock, so he's not going to listen. So
yeah. All right. So we present two choices: a union ticket welcoming men of all parties, declared in its entirety to the preservation of the country, and a treason ticket. Behold to the will of extremists and rebel sympathizers, no matter what their puppet at his head may tell you. Democrats make their choice on that basis.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do that one.
Number 2. Many war Democrats are terrified by the sway that Vallandigham has on their own party. Actually, by the way, you know something that something funny about Vallandigham?
What's that?
Oh, get ready for this. All right. So years later, he was defending a client in like a court case.
Uh-huh.
And to show the judge as to what happened, he shot himself. No, not joking. He literally shot himself in the abdomen to show the judge, like, okay, this is what happened to the client, and then he died, and the client was acquitted.
Why does that? Okay, why does that sound like? Why does that sound like a cutaway gag, like Family Guy would do?
No, it actually happened. He literally shot himself to show the judge.
Shit,
this is what happened.
Holy fucking shit! Like, holy fuck. Okay, like, okay. Honestly, like, even Felix Wright will look at that and be like, dude, even I'm not that stupid enough to win a case like that.
But his client was acquitted either way. So there you go.
Gee, I wonder why. I wonder why.
Vallandigham was insane. Let me tell you.
I mean, okay, like, yeah, just based on that story alone, like, he's honestly, he's not just insane. He's fucking stupid. He's fucking stupid. What the hell? Hey jury, just to remind you that guns are dangerous. Shots.
This is what happened to my client.
That's what happened to. Okay, pretty much I can imagine, like, after that, like, the judge and the jury just took a look at this client and just being like, you know what? Okay, not even you deserve a lawyer that fucking stupid to begin with, so you know what? You're free of charge, man. Go home. Go commit another crime. We don't give a fuck anymore.
Oh, God, yeah, the life they had was fucking insane. But anyway, by making the choice starkly clear, you will drive many of them to your camp, though my client will do his best to keep them. Yeah, we'll see about that. Anyway, before we move on, let's take a look at the polls again.
Look at the polls. All right,
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, look at that. Looking for Pennsylvania. All right, Pennsylvania is slowly. Slowly thinking about going for Lincoln. Let's see. I think Indiana's about the same. That's also about the same as well too. But let's take a look. All right, that's the same. For that, that's still the same. But so far, we are winning a bit on like Pennsylvania. And in terms of Maryland, we're getting close for Lincoln as well, too, for Maryland.
Yeah, so that's good news. All right, let's go ahead and proceed.
All right.
Fremont continues to leech votes from your campaign. Is there any way you'd like to win back some radical Republican support? Okay, this one should be pretty simple. So I'm gonna go with the 13th Amendment.
All right, so pretty much all right. We'll do this one then. Did you want to read the other two, or pretty much are you confident on this answer?
I'm confident on the answer because the other ones are not going to do that much. So, in my opinion, at least, it should be the antidote to your woes with the radicals. Abolition is becoming increasingly popular, and in time, the voters will realize another term of Lincoln will be their best bet for making it so.
All right.
All right. 5 states, Maine, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, and Vermont, continue to permit black men to vote. Do you have any interest in concerning this demographic? Okay.
All right. Let's take a look. We should reach out to the other states with large freeman populations, such as New York and Ohio, and attempt to expand black suffrages before Election Day. This is too important a demographic not to take advantage of, which, while I agree that's true, I'm not too sure if now will be the best time to do so, to be honest.
Because black suffrage was very controversial.
It was very controversial back there, and I mean, like, let's not forget, like, pretty much even though that, yes, the South is basically a bunch of, like, extreme racist assholes and everything. The North technically was not all that much better as well too in some regards.
No, many were basically for abolition, but not actually giving them the right to vote and such. So unfortunately, it was still pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we are barely keeping a precedence in Missouri and Maryland to begin with. By calling for an expansive black vote, we risk not only losing voters, but greater secessionist sympathizers in those regions. Which,
Maryland almost seceded. If it wasn't for Lincoln basically suspending habeas corpus, Maryland would have gone to the South.
Alrighty. Let's see here. Alright, so next one. The majority of free black families have young men currently in our forces. We ought to ensure their just treatment within the ranks. On this front, as well as all others, support from our soldiers will result in support at home.
Yeah, I will go with that one.
All right, and then for the last one, we support black suffrage. We have too much to lose by coordinating these voters too strongly. I issued the Emancipation Proclamation. These voters know who is truly on their side. All right, honestly, yeah, I agree with you. Let's go with number 3.
Let's see. Your campaign leans heavily into advertising among the families of enlisted black men, bolstered by your productive meetings with Frederick
Douglass. On topic of soldiers, the pay, and the rescue of enslaved blacks in the South.
All right, let's
honestly,
go ahead.
I'm curious. Let's take a look. Ooh, well, look at that. Look at that. Yeah, I mean, like, pretty much they weren't kidding. Look at that. Like, they really are showing their support with Lincoln on that front right there.
Yeah, Rhode Island is definitely on our side now.
Yes, and in terms of this, okay, this is still the same and everything. And I think we're slowly getting more support as well too from the west side as well.
Yeah, that's good news. All right,
let's go back.
Oh my God. McClellan's running mate George Pendleton has begun actively campaigning in the Northwest, claiming you plan on fully enfranchising and rehabilitating blacks throughout the North. Do you have any response to this?
This is all right. This is blatant falsehood. After the abolition of slavery, it is my hope to see the African descendants repenting.
That's really it.
Yeah. To the conditions of their origins. Congress has provided fundings for a program such as for such a program since 1862.
No.
Yeah. No. We must remember we must remember that these were some of the first free territories in these United States. Stoking the fires of passion will not sway them. We will force abolition in spite of the fear-mongering rhetorics of the Democrats. All right. He says these things as if it is something to be feared. We must grant these freed folks the same basic dignity they deserve, and we should be happy to have them throughout the North. We should make it clear to all that we have no plans to move blacks anywhere in the country they are not already. We are for freedom, not forced migration.
Yeah, I'll go with that one.
All right, let's try that. The party has been in line for years. Representative Swift, from your priority stated view favorably colonialism.
Colonization, yeah. So yeah, basically Lincoln was one of those people that before he basically switched his views, like. He was one of those people that he felt like blacks and, whites wouldn't, mix well into society, so he wanted to send them back to Africa, but thankfully he took position.
Yes, that's true.
Right. So some good news at last. Admiral David Farragut has taken the port at Mobile Bay, the largest remaining Confederate Navy in a major coup for the Union Army. Would you like to install a similar provisional government as you have in New Orleans and Knoxville? All right, so they're talking about Alabama here because, yeah.
Okay. Yes, and we should prop up this provisional government as an honorary capital. By all interest and purpose, Alabama has been returned to the fold. Yes, but we will not grant its provisional statehood. We must make it clear Alabama is still an active area of war. No, Mobile is neither the capital nor the largest city. We must hold off until we finally take Montgomery.
Yeah, let's go with that one.
That one? Alright. This plan is in line with your previous action. With the fall of Mobile Bay, the capture of the rest of the city, and Alabama can't be far off. I mean, that's the only option we got. So a telegram has arrived from General Sherman in Georgia. By God, read it!
Atlanta is ours and fairly won.
Woo!
Let's check the polls now.
All right.
Okay.
Look at this. All right. So Vermont, we clearly have the strongest support. Same thing with Massachusetts and everything. New York, okay. New York and Pennsylvania, we still need to win some of their support. The battle's not over yet, but if we take a look at Ohio, we're almost there. We're almost there to win Ohio.
All right, let's see. All right. Well, with the taking of Atlanta, Washington is a change city. A parade has been scheduled, and many Republicans are reconsidering their bolting away from your platform. How would you seize this moment? All right, so if I was Lincoln, I would be like, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We still got work to do, so we shouldn't celebrate just yet.
All right, so pretty much let's take a look at these very carefully then. The time has come to put aside our petty quarrels and to put the primary issue of this election front and center. The abolition of slavery and the fundamentals of that great promise of a nation where all men are created equal. We shall not tarry in this work. All together now, all together now,
With the radicals,
pretty much Lincoln just turns around, just being like, "Who the fuck were those British people?" With the radicals return to the fold, we will flaunt our progress in the war with a full military parade and present the measures far and wide. The Union is ours to preserve only if we stay the course. Right,
yeah. Okay. So yeah, that one won't do because, like I said, Lincoln will be the type of person to be like, "Hey, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We still got work to do."
Yeah.
So.
All right. So with the radicals under control, we have a fair hand to reach out to the moderates and copperheads. Let them know the National Union ticket hears their concerns, and that the reconstruction of these United States will be a comprehensive process.
There is little to be gained by grand orations. We must seize this moment to reconcile the factions of the Republican Party as well as war Democrats to be fully united going into November. Yeah, that one.
All right, we'll go with that one then.
There are enough good feelings with the National Union camp for figures on both extremes to agree to postpone interscene squabbles until after this election. This will help you.
All right.
Damn B! Horace Greeley has written to you once again, offering to endorse you for president. Obviously, yeah, take it.
Yeah, thank God. It's a pleasure to have him back in the fold.
With Greeley's endorsement, many radical Republicans seem to rethink their opposition to you. The tides are indeed turning.
All right, well, let's see how those tides are turning so far. Let's see here. About the same. All right, so pretty much the tides have been turning, but not too much.
At least in Pennsylvania and Ohio, things are going well. So,
yeah,
a telegraph has arrived from John C. Fremont. In light of the changing direction of the war, he has offered to drop out of the race and endorse you. He has demanded some concession to be made for him to do so, however. What are you willing to offer?
All right, let's take a look. Freeman is an egotist, and we can use this to our advantage. Offer him a military governmentship. Maybe this will reclaim Arizona territory. A seat of power would be irresistible. I'm not too sure how I feel about that. Yeah.
No, that would be suicide.
Yeah. His animosity with the Blair family is legendary. I will immediately drop Montgomery Blair from my cabinet and incite our openness to further considerations if it will secure his endorsement.
Okay, I will go with that one actually.
All right, well, let's take a look at the last two just to make sure. His amicity with Blair with the Blair family is legendary.
I'm about to drop Montgomery Blair from my cabinet in favor of a radical Republican of Freeman's choosing.
We cannot concede too much, as we need to keep operations running to maintain the war. Perhaps Freeman will see reason and endorse us without the right and endorse us out of the righteousness of the
righteousness
cause.
Of the cause. Honestly, that one's not going to work because he says he needs some concessions. So
yeah,
let's go with number two.
All right, number two it is.
The further concession ends up putting Salmon Chase on the Supreme Court, which actually did happen in real life.
All right.
Seeing a more radical bent to your administration, Fremont is happy to endorse you to carry out the war. With this, you remove a major thorn in your side. So let's take a look at the map now.
Let's see. Oh, here we are. We have just won Ohio, or at least somewhere. We at least want some more. We at least want more support. And in terms of this, we're still getting close.
Let's go ahead and check California for a second.
Which one?
California.
10%. We are up by 10% now, and at least
Fremont has dropped out. So 143 to 91. That's good news.
Yeah, that is good news. All right.
Right. So let's go back. Right. When you put forward the Emancipation Proclamation, it was Andrew Johnson that asked the border states to be exempt from the mandate. Many Republicans, even non-radicals, have pointed this as a reason for unease at your running mate. What will you have to say to these worries? All right.
We are in a different field in '62. Border states were moments away of succeeding. Andy Johnson had the foresight needed to keep them in the fray. His tenure, I will assure him, shall be no inherence to our goals. Johnson did make this call, but he has seen the light of abolition for some time. Johnson will be an ally in passing the 13th Amendment, and Republicans will see that in time. It was his request, but it was my call. I am fully committed to ending the war, and if slavery needs to be slowly phased out of the border states, so be it. We need to change the narrative completely. Johnson's efforts as military government have been anything but moderate. We will sell the radicals on his policies in office. Honestly, to me, I might go with number 3 the most.
I will go with number 4, actually.
Number 4? All right, we'll try number 4 then.
Johnson is known for his oratory and his grandstanding speeches expressing a newfound abolition sentiment begins to slowly convince your doubters. This is good news.
All right, that's good.
All right. Okay, this is one where we have to be careful. All right. Grant has sent word that he can spare the whole the whole of his cavalry to drive the siege out of the Shenandoah Valley and secure Washington from invasion once and for all. Will you acquaint this to his plan? All right, so yeah.
Rest assured, Grant will have every resource at his disposal to take the fight to the rebels of the Shenandoah Valley. Such an operation at a politically and violent time as this may backfire, will secure Grant to keep the army of the Pematomic strictly on the defense for now.
All right, let's take a risk. Let's go with number 1.
All right.
Here we go. Oh, damn it!
Yeah.
Catastrophe. While the rebel forces were successfully held back at the Apple Orchard Mountain, Phil Sheridan was... Oh, shit. Phil Sheridan was killed. His men have been routed back to Grant's defensive line and is more... Oh, God. Let's check the pulse. Hurry. Oh, surprisingly didn't do much damage.
No, not at all. Pretty much of anything. Like I think we got even more support from California from that.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and
all right. Actually, let's take a look. Actually, I'm kind of curious on Pennsylvania.
Oh
wow, that's the
exactly
Pennsylvania.
the same. Exactly the same as it was before. So, all right, okay. Not bad. Not bad.
All right,
I'll take that. Historically active soldiers have not been able to vote in the presidential election because of the massive logistical and financial burden of the absentee ballot sent across long distances. This will be the first year that nearly all soldiers will be able to vote. Do you have any plans to solidify their support for you? Yes. Yes.
All right, we'll go with that then.
Stanton devises a new system guided by the states to allow soldiers to mail in their votes from the front lines. The smart support of the absentee ballot system and will be appreciated by many fighting for the Union.
Alrighty. Right.
Go ahead and read that. Go ahead and read this one.
Okay. Despite the renewed optimism throughout the Union, the mood in New York City remains heated. As the election approaches, the Democrat bosses of the city seems to have been gearing up for a similar fight that ensure after the draft. Edwin Stanton has asked you to take these calls seriously.
All right, so I will go with the very last one, actually, for this one.
All right, so we could work with the local police and everything. All right, we'll try that one then.
Let's go ahead and see. This seems to do the trick. Though the bosses do not seem to have any further interest in leaving the Democratic fold, you have averted violence, but your presence in the city remains tenuous.
Okay.
All right. Progress in the siege of Pittsburgh continues at a crawl. Many around you have pleaded for you to consider Grant's replacement. Grant and Stanton both, for their parts, assure you keeping Lee busy will disallow for greater success in the war's other theaters.
Grant has my utmost trust. Neither McClellan. All right, so you want to go with yes?
Yeah, obviously.
All right. Grant has been your most successful and loyal general so far. With your faith in him redoubled, he guaranteed the capture of Petersburg in short order, and details to you his determined plan to do so.
All right. With the election close at hand, is there any region we'd like to focus on in the last days of the election?
All right, so we got the Northeast is closer than we like. Let's focus Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Ohio by reaching out to Germans, laborers, and homesteadings. We should focus less on any peculiar region and more on ensuring we have our troops' support.
Yep, that one. I'll go with that one.
All right. So for the last two, it was like we could really tip the border states, Missouri, Kentucky, and Maryland. We could use the money, and scheduling a few extra military parades couldn't hurt.
I want to take the risk because we're not going to win Kentucky.
Yeah, and New York continues to be a thorn in our side. We have to scratch every vote we can out of that state.
We'll get the best of both worlds with number 2. So let's go with number 2.
Let's do that then.
You ordered Edwin Stanton to intensify his efforts to enfranchise the soldiery. This key block may just put you over the edge in swing states, which is what we want.
All right, well, just in case, let's take a look before we answer this last question. So okay. It's still going okay. I'm curious on New York. I'm going to see if I can get over there. All right. So for New York, No.
All right. So go to New York. Put your mouse on New York. Okay, go back to PV estimate for a second. And now click on switch to state estimate. All right, now go back to New York.
Yeah.
50. Yeah, McClellan's gonna win it. So, all right.
Well, let's see here.
It may be 4 more. The last question. Here we go. It may be 4 more years, but it may have only taken more months. Let me say that again.
It may be 4 more years. It may only be a few months. You may not know what Election Day will bring. But is there anything you would like to prepare the next stretch of your administration to focus on?
There is number 4. I will go with number 4.
Here we go.
Every day you get a new report from the front lines, be it Grant or Sherman. The news is encouraging. With any luck, you should have this war finished for good by your next inauguration.
All right,
here we go.
Here we
Election
go.
night has arrived. Here we go. Let's see.
All right, let's see here. All right, so we got, pretty much we already have Tennessee and Louisiana in the bag.
Okay, let's wait.
Give him hell, Uncle Billy. I like that.
All right,
16,
here we go.
18,
It takes a while for the states to show up, so let's see.
that's fine. I mean, to be honest and everything, like, I can only imagine pretty much how much slower it was back in, like, the 1800s to get an election win.
Hey, here we go. There goes Maryland.
Okay, we got Ohio, and we got West Virginia.
Let's see. Vermont is in our hands.
Did get Kentucky, as usual. And he did get Delaware and New Jersey. But we got Pennsylvania.
Oh my God, we won Pennsylvania.
We got Pennsylvania, and we got Michigan. We got Maine. We got Missouri.
We won!
We won! Woo! All right. Okay. Actually, let's see the rest of the results. I'm curious. Let's see. So we got Iowa.
Iowa.
We got Illinois and Indiana. Go Indiana. All right.
Kansas.
Yeah, we got New Hampshire too. That would kind of surprise me a little bit.
Same here. Let's see.
What about New York? Did we actually win New York or not?
I doubt it, but let's see.
We got Nevada.
Let's see.
Nope, we did. Okay, we did not win New York, but pretty much it didn't matter. We won all the other states. Like, all right, it came very close, but we did it. We won. We won.
Let's go to final results.
Yeah, I mean, we may have won, but
glory, hallelujah, bully for you. Yeah. Uh-oh. Mute.
What?
Mute the tab. The tab is up.
I did. I did mute the tab.
Weird. All right, never mind. All right. So, bully for you. You have won the presidential election. Mr. Lincoln, and with its bounties of the faith, with presents to an end of this cruel war. For long, testing and terrible years of strife have given way to a new era, a new nation, conceived in liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. A nation which, thanks to your efforts, will long endure. Go ahead and read the final one.
Alrighty. The surrender of the treaty Confederates is all but assured. In a few precious months, General Grant will accept the surrender of Robert E. Lee at Approximate Courthouse, and the work of rebuilding these United States will commence. Despite your own doubts going into the summer, the American people have seen fit to place their confidence in the National Union to continue this war to its natural end.
I click on more. More than log cabin in Kentucky, you have come a long way. The name Abraham Lincoln will pass into the annals of history, as the hand which once outvoted in rural Indiana will now sign the document proclaiming an end to the barbaric practice of slavery. Let freedom ring throughout the land. As your destined hour struck down by an assassin's bullet, you will take your place among the greatest men in history and witness the fruits of your efforts as future generations strive to fulfill that great promise. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead, we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion. That we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. All right, Coda.
But tragedy struck.
Go ahead.
Alright, Andrew Johnson will ascend to the presidency following your immediate death. While initially pursuing vengeance pursuing vengeance against all traitors, his Southerners convention and desire to uphold your moderate policies will lead to the conflict with the Republican caucus, and damn his administration and posterity after their inconsolable split in 1866, attending to satisfy the remaining states that may have accepted their defeat with grace. His leniency and interactions will only embody them, ultimately leading to the return of Confederates to power across the South and the failure of Reconstruction. Johnson will be remembered as one of the worst presidents to ever govern the United States, a drug-tard and a racist. His impeachment by the House will be the first of its kind in the nation's history, and the Senate's efforts to remove him from office will fail by just one vote. Historians will forever lament the golden opportunity that was wasted by your selection of Andrew Johnson. It will be a century before America finally begins to reckon with the legacy of that relic of barbarianism, slavery, and more still before the black man will ever be able to dream of being seen as a true equal of the white.
All right,
so we won, but at what cost?
Now, why did we win anyway? Because this racist won. This racist is Senate for the presidency. But yeah. All right, go back to the map.
All right, we'll go back. We'll go back to the map.
All right. So we won, but for what cost?
For what cost? Yeah, we won, but we won, but just like in real life history, Lincoln unfortunately got assassinated, and because of that, we had to get stuck with Andrew Johnson for the next, literally, for the next 4 years and such.
Yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy. But yeah, there you go, guys. That was the route of Andrew Johnson. Now,
yeah. So pretty much, even though in our timeline it sucked that Abraham Lincoln was killed and we got Andrew Johnson, what if somehow we were able to change history, and what if somehow Lincoln decided that he didn't want Andrew Johnson as vice president, but he still decided to keep another vice president that pretty much already served him for the first election and everything.
Hannibal Hamlin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll have to come back next time because Barney's going to be trying. Because Barney is the one that will be trying that. Will be trying that route for you all to see.
Yes, indeed. So yeah, folks. Thank you so much for watching our very first Let's Play of New Campaign Trail. Again, technically, this wasn't the first episode we actually filmed. The very first episode we actually filmed is coming up real soon. You'll see which one it is once it releases very soon. So if you guys enjoyed this episode of New Campaign Trail, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you guys want to see more elections, not just 1864, but other elections, hit that subscribe button as well.
Yes. And again, don't forget that, and don't forget, if you guys also have any other games you want us to try out, list them in the comments below on YouTube.
Yes. So until then, this has been Bonnie with
Zecoa the Diesel.
Say thank you for watching. We'll see you guys in the next part where we take a look at the Hannibal Hamlin route of the 1864 New Campaign Trail. So until then, folks, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you guys in the next part.
I didn't lose. I merely failed to win.